Used to. That one here. Yeah, see her? Yeah, go on, get in there. Yeah, go on. Get yourself in. That's it. Oh, bless her. Sneaky and sneaking this side. Come on, we're rooting for you. We're rooting for you, yeah. Come on, we'll watch. We'll throw some at her. Yeah, throw some at her. Yeah, look, she's just going in there and isn't it? Oh, isn't it? Oh no! What can you see?
Stay here for a bit, yeah, we're going to crack on. Follow Daddy round. Yeah, look, you might be able to see the paper. Careful, come back this way, step big steps, and then you're going to get pumpkin.
A big rock in a cave.
Look at that.
Wow.
I wouldn't normally stand in here, but as it's shorts weather, none of you need to see what these guys can do with their beaks. So this is just a small morning feed for our Humboldt penguins. And the reason that the kings are so thoroughly uninterested is I have nothing in here that would excite them. So this is just sprats. They think sprats are pointless. They much prefer waiting for their bigger fish in the afternoon. But also, they don't need to eat as much throughout the day. In the hotter weather, the kings aren't as hungry anyway. They are a colder species than the Humboldt penguins. So they're mainly from the Falkland Islands, but you do find some in South Georgia and parts of Antarctica. So obviously we are going to be having to do a lot of work to keep them nice and cool this week. The main way really is just making sure that they've got water that they can stand under, because the water helps keep them nice and cold. But we will be putting ice in here sporadically throughout the day. You'll see that they spend a lot more time in the pool basically. Because they're not from the deep tundras of Antarctica, they can cope with our weather fairly well most of the time. It's just only in these extremes do we need to be that little bit more mindful. Now the Humboldts, they're from South America, so they're absolutely loving this weather at the moment, they're really well adapted to it as well. They've got the little pink patches just above their beaks, and if you see them get a little bit too warm throughout today, they'll go bright red. Basically that really helps them to cool down. Now they eat a lot more than the kings. They don't store as much fat on them, so they don't need to keep as nice and warm. But they've also got babies at the moment, so we've got 2 chicks right at the other end of the enclosure, and we've got one that we're hand raising as well. And those are the main reasons why we just need to make sure that all of these guys are getting enough food, just to make sure that those babies are getting nice and fed by their parents. There we go. And as you can see, they would quite happily turn themselves into little bowling balls. Oh, Raquel, there you go, good girl. We've got our chicks from last year in here as well. So you've got Del Boy, Rodney and Raquel. They're the ones that look a little bit different to the rest of them. Their names were chosen via a public poll, just in case anyone's wondering. We also